So we've been doing FIP for almost the whole year. How do you
Yes.
think it has changed your instruction in your classroom?
If I were telling colleagues what to keep in mind for FIP, the number one thing would be that as long as you keep it simple and you do what works best for you, there's a lot of variety of things that you can try. But it's things that we've already been doing. It's impacted my teaching personally in a way that when I look back to how I used to teach and just keep moving on, and the kids were not really focusing on what they needed, they weren't as aware of what they needed. And now I pull small groups and I'm tracking their skills. Kids are definitely more in tune with what they need, and I'm in tune with what they need. And we're pulling them aside and helping them to get where they need to be. So,
And to kind of piggyback off of that, I would say not only are they more in tune with what they need, but it's also, because of that, it's motivated them. And
yes.
for example, in my classroom, also we've been working to track where they are or where they've been and where they're going. And once they see kind of where they fall, it creates a sense of motivation for everyone because they want to continue to grow. So they take ownership over their learning. And so I think that's impacted the kids that
Right.
way.
And like I was saying, there's so many ways to track their growth. It could be something as simple as a checkoff sheet. You know, after I grade papers, it's keeping some sticky notes with the skill and which kids needed that skill, and then handing that to the intervention person or me pulling that group as a small group. And it could be something as simple as that, or it could be a data chart as far as you've tried with the actual standards decomposed and marking
And I
how well
think
they've done.
the biggest thing is do it so that it works for you and for your students. I think we got hung up in the beginning that it was
Had to be a certain
specific
way.
Yeah, it had to be a specific way, and it doesn't. It just
Right.
you need to figure it out and just jump in. Just jump in and get started and figure it out as you go, and it will become
What you wanted. Probably the biggest words that we think of in FIP would be your learning targets, so that the kids know what they're learning, and the formative instruction. So it could be something as simple as thumbs up, thumbs down, how well are you getting this, versus an exit ticket to gather that information.
in progress monitoring. I like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Thank
Give
you.
it a try.
Okay, so FIP has changed my instruction mostly with the learning targets, focusing it for myself and the students has been amazing. They have become more excited about what they're learning. They know what they're learning. Anyone could ask them and they could say, but also they know where they are in the process of learning, so they know if they understand the learning target, and they can rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 4. 4 being yes, I understand it and can teach it, and 1 being not really, but I can do it with some help. So it's just been really focused on understanding what it is they're learning, and that's been amazing.
Formative instructional practices are definitely a way to enhance your teaching. They allow not only the teacher but the students to delve deeper into the content and focus more on learning targets.
Being a kindergarten teacher, I think it's a great opportunity to be able to have our little kiddos coming in at the beginning of the year, wondering what school's going to be like, wondering what we're going to do. It's a fabulous time to be able to begin the FIP process. My kids at any time can tell me what a learning target is, why we're doing it, and what we're going to need to do to be able to reach our target. A wonderful thing that our kiddos do in kindergarten is we do a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways, and that tells me quickly, I can look out and say, they've got it. I can see the kids who are still struggling that need me to do one more example, and kids who need me to call them over and work with them a little bit individually. The FIP process has really transformed my classroom from what I'm doing in the classroom to what the kids are doing in the classroom. The kids are focused, they're goal setting, they're tracking their data, so they track how many letters that they know, they're tracking how many sounds that they know. they're tracking how many sight words that they know and their fluency of their math facts. And it's just a wonderful way to be able to focus and to be able to provide the enrichment that I need to provide, but also provide the feedback to students when they need it and the extra guidance.
I think for me the biggest change that I noticed with the FIP strategies is my students' learning and their motivation. Before, when I was just teaching, I would have my I can statements in the room and they were just posted. Now that I've implemented the FIP strategies, my students and I can deconstruct the standards and kind of have a focus for where we're going. Before it was I knew where we were going and they were just along for the ride. Now we kind of have more of a goal and a purpose for our learning.